What's crazy is, so my birthday is actually tomorrow. My birthday is tomorrow, and me being out in Florida has really maybe put into perspective is the way to say it. But I just feel like, I'm not really excited like I used to be for my birthday. I'm not where I normally am, and I'm not really in the same state of mind, right? And I guess that's really changing how I feel about certain things. And that's the growth that I believe I need. But it's also growth that I'm not necessarily used to. And I can feel myself scratching and clawing to hold on to a version of me that's obsolete, to say the least, right? And I'm excited for this, which is good, but I'm also reluctant to give it away, right? Going back up there is basically, I'm going back to Ohio, is basically is it real, right? Is this really a different version, or whatever? And then that starts with a real conversation, like, am I actually excited to go up there? Not really. Is the reality of it. I need to see some people. I want to see some people. And, I just want to have a good time, I guess. Right? You always just want to kind of have the best time possible whenever you do anything. And, I think that we should be teaching real adult stuff younger in life. And I'll give you an example. In maybe my sophomore year of high school is when you take the class, or maybe it's your junior year. I took it my senior year, so it's a little behind the peak curtains. They teach you about I've forgotten the word for it, right? No, it's a opportunity cost, right? So you have two options that two things that you really want to do, and you can only do one. You have to weigh out the pros and cons of each, and you have to choose, and there's no getting the other one back. Literally, point blank. And I think that you can't do both. Really, you can't. And you kind of when you're young, you really only do three things, right? You play a sport, you go to school, you go to work, right? And then definitely there's some in between in that. A lot of people go to parties, but you're not always going to a party, you know what I mean? And usually it's when you have nothing else to do. You don't work on the weekends. Your game's on Friday or Wednesday, so it's or they're midday, whatever, you know what I mean? So I think that is a lesson that needs to be, another thing I have is sometimes you can't teach those things too, you have to learn them. I thought about that. I thought that was pretty, obviously it's a natural thought to have, but it's one that I did have and thought was interesting enough to share. So, what else? I don't know, I'm really just living life, man. I'm really just living to see what's up. Is it as tough as everybody's saying? Is it, do I wish I would have changed some things already? Not really, bro. I'm cool. I'm cool right here where I'm at. And I'm excited to reach beyond this as well, which is important. I'm excited what I want to do is I want to just be able to travel between the states, buying rental properties that I can then flip into profitable vacation homes, or long-term rentals, right? And I'll use that to collate political campaign. And I want to run for president at the end of the day, you know, at the end of definitely at the middle of the road. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like 75 trying to get into office, but I think that's really what I want to do. I really want to impact change for the betterment of our people. And I think that'd be a really cool goal to set for myself. And then something I really want to do, you know, and I have a goal not only to do it, but to thrive in it. And I think having a goal this big will set me, you know, you aim for the stars and you land on the moon. Something. But at the same time, I would also be comfortable just being an electrician, just being a journeyman, just being a subcontractor, right? And I think those are achievable things with a giant big goal at the end. And my grandma always tells me you gotta start small, so that's my starting small, I guess. But nothing ever goes to plan, you know, so it's what I'm excited for, though, is what matters, I feel like. Another thing I was thinking about is just the real life ability to see change when it happens. You know, you go through things and you see them change, but at that point in time, forever it's going to be different, so you might as well just get over it, right? And it's scary to think about too, because you can't change anything. It's not like you can actually make an effort to change things, so accepting them is the only reasonable and rational thing. But it's just scary that you're just supposed to do that. You know, you just have to be a functioning member of society. Speaking of being a functional member of society, the social contract needs to be studied or taught sooner, because I think it's lost on people. The social contract basically just says, hey, you know, you got to be a normal person in public, bro. You can't be in private, bro. Do what you got to do. Do whatever you want, whenever you want, behind closed doors. Once you get out in the public, bro, just be in the middle. Don't try to be this somebody you're not thing, like I'm doing this, just normal. Just normal, you know what I'm saying? And I think people forget about that. I think people really genuinely want to be an individual all of the time. You can be, as long as you're not, your opinions aren't crazy, bro. But yeah, you know, what do I know?